What's up, everybody? Thomas Claxton here, and you guys are tuned in to the Sitting In with Thomas Claxton podcast. Remember, if you guys like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. You guys sit back and enjoy. Thanks a lot.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, well, hello, Scott Page.
Yo, brother, what up?
Man,
Man,
dude.
I can't believe it. When was the last time we did this?
Oh, wow. This was, let's see, that would have been January of 2020, before Corona or COVID-19, which I think Scott and I both want to send a big middle finger out to COVID-19. That's right. That's for that damn virus, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one, boy.
Dude, it's did that not wreck that industry, our industry? It's just,
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, it completely, well, what it did, let's put it this way, it has completely changed the industry forever.
100.
Like everything. But I will say, I think we're about to see one of the greatest heydays in our entire lifetime for the entertainment space. I think
You're
we're
getting
about
that
ready
vibe
to,
too?
huh?
You're getting that vibe too?
Oh yeah, I mean, because I think first of all, we're going to have the country's going to take off. They're going when they open all this stuff up. It's already starting to just like everybody wants to get out, can't take it any longer, and so there's going to be that growth, right?
Sure.
Along with what's going on with financial markets and how this freaking whole blockchain and NFTs, how it affects the business industry. The real-time two-way connectivity we have now. The ability to bring fan in stream, and I mean, it's just so innovative. I mean, the time is just mind-boggling to me, and now it's really becoming clear that this is going to be the greatest boom I believe, the greatest boom for the artist we've ever seen. And
I think it's coming, dude.
And it's not about just playing gigs, about doing stuff. It's about a new way of doing business. It's a new way of thinking about how you run your business, because the blockchain and the concept of tokens and how they tie your assets, and you've got an authenticated piece that you can control. And there's a marketplace for. I mean, it blows my mind right now what's going down. We've got the audience machine, direct to consumer. We're about to go. I guess the thing to say is we're about to go direct to consumer like we've never been able to go to direct to consumer before. I think I really, 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 really believe that this is about to take off, and artists, get ready. I mean, if you're smart and you want to get educated right now, wrap your head around crypto and blockchain, because it's not just about a coin, which is on fire right now, right?
It is. It's on
insane,
fire,
right?
dude.
We're up to 60,000. Think about it. Blockchain, I think it was like, it took it to go in 10 years from $1 to $50,000 a coin. Up and down, up and down. Everybody thought it was going to go away. And it turned out to be one of the fastest growing asset class in history. It fooled everybody, right?
Oh, dude, let me tell you what, here's the thing though. I don't really think a lot of artists, are comprehending exactly what's coming and the changes that are being made. And that's, you've got your show and your podcast, and I've got this one, there are other people out there with other types of shows. The information is there. All people have got to do is open their ears, open their minds to new things that might not have been done pre-COVID, but now things, I mean, or maybe not as utilized. They were there, but not utilized the way they are now for artists. But I tell you what, man, if people are paying attention, there's some great stuff coming. And for those of you just tuning in to the podcast real quick, let me tell you who we're talking to here. We've got the one and only Scott Page. That's right, man. I need to get like a sound effect or something every time I
Womp, womp, womp. You know, one of those little guys you need a little
yeah,
dude.
something, you know, like,
Boom, hey.
like that Macho Man Randy Savage entrance or something, some Ric Flair punk.
You know, that's it. You just need to put that's actually, you should do that, man. I think you'd be perfect for that, is to set up just a little trigger pad with a whole bunch of cool sound effects.
It would be
when you do yourself, you can just sing, crowd comes roaring in, right?
Absolutely. Well, Scott Page, let me tell you what, you know, for those of you watching, Scott's pretty much done it all. I mean, the guy has, you know, he's a staple in the music industry. And not only that, aside from that, you know, there's another side to Scott. There's the technician, there's the technologist, the entrepreneur. There's all this stuff that makes up the big puzzle that is Scott. And, you know, for those of you who might have seen Scott play, of course, Scott has been on the stage with some major names like Pink Floyd, Supertramp, Toto, but there's a lot more going on. I have learned more personally in the music industry from this guy right here that we're talking to than I have many people within such a short amount of time. You know, Scott and I, we've known each other's names for a while, but we started getting to really know each other over the past year. Scott was actually the first guest on the Sitting In with Thomas Claxton podcast when it debuted at the NAMM show in 2020.
That's right. Wow,
I
forgot I was there, so we're doing a recap.
Bro, #1. I mean, to me, you couldn't beat that. I was like, man, come on, man. I've got Scott Page on here.
Wow, thanks, man. Well, thank you for such a nice intro. That was very nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's so interesting where we're at right now in, you know, I've always been a business guy and an artist, and always try to approach it from that point of view. I try to think about business as just as artful as making a product, right? I mean, it's the same. There's a mentality to make something and make it work, right? And it just fascinates me how you can tie business to that and make art, but it takes a kind of a brain that you want to put those two together, because many artists, they don't really care about, they don't want to do the business. Smoke fatties, write songs, I'm having a great time, go play my gig and I'm happy. And that's cool. Dude, I get it. But right now, if you want to be a business, it's either it's a hobby or it's a business, right? It just depends on how you want to take it. If you're that curious person that's an artist that really, truly wants to build their business, I believe with what is happening right now, this is the greatest time in the history of the entertainment industry for the independent artist.
Oh, dude, it's coming, man.
We knew it was coming and there were things were happening, but what happens is the blockchain and the concept of tokens changes the game so dramatically for artists.
Explain to the listeners who might not be familiar with the blockchain, the tokens.
You might have been, people might be hearing about, there's all these incredible, what they call NFTs you're hearing about in the news. You know, the biggest one is this guy Beeple, an artist, just like a week ago, I think it was, or within the last couple of weeks, sold his piece of art, a piece of digital art.
Digital.
It was like 5,000
keyword digital.
All digital, no physical thing, just a file, basically a digital file that had 5,000 pictures. And he's an artist that was he's been known as a digital artist, but he wasn't necessarily the biggest guy, but he came up with this thing. And that piece of art just sold for $69 million.
That's insane.
$69 million as an NFT. So why it sold is now you would say, well, why aren't people, you can make copies of it and everybody can have it. But because of the innovation of what blockchain and the distributed decentralized ledger concept, what that does, it allows for authenticating something in a way without a middleman, a third party. You don't need if you tokenize your house, you could have all your titles are in the blockchain, because whatever goes into the blockchain in this ledger cannot be changed, cannot be modified, because the information is spread so many places. No one person can basically go in and make it happen, right? It doesn't work that way. So because of that authentication, that one file, if you own that guy's the only guy that owns that file in the whole world. That's it. It's now an asset. And the crazy thing about it is he's going to make a bundle off of that.
Sure is.
And the reason how he's going to do that is because the blockchain, he can fractionalize ownership in that. So now he can get people to take a fraction to buy in like a stock, like an asset. See, that's what the blockchain and this thing does, because it puts your thing in the marketplace now so that you can sell it. So what's nice for artists and NFTs, let me go over this. What happens is when you build your NFT, and it's usually a picture, or they've mostly been pictures so far, pictures, memes,
Sure.
little animations, some video clips, and NBA's doing top shot. So they're selling the Michael Jordan shot or the top shot of the week, and people get them and they get them and then they buy them. And then there's only so many of them, and then they're traded and they're sold again, right? It's like trading cards. So what happens is, but what's nice is because of the smart contract that's built into the blockchain, which allows for you to manage all the connections, that it can say, give 10% to this person, give 5% to this person. And every time it sells, 10% goes back to the whatever the smart contract said before. So as an artist, if I put up an asset, an example, let me give you an example. A guy put up an asset, and I don't have the numbers exactly right because I don't have it off the top of my head. So I don't know, but it's something like this, very close. There was he did the initial offering where it goes up for 7 minutes. It's like an auction. People come in and they can buy the thing. He put it at a minimal price that you could buy it at $900. $990 or $980 or whatever it was.
Crazy.
And only as many as could be bought in the first in 7 minutes, right? He sold 4,000 of them, right? In the 7 minutes. Whatever his thing came to, it was like 350, 400, 500 grand, some kind of number he got out of that in the first 5 minutes. But then it hit the secondary market and it started going up. And that $900 asset, the last price on that asset, at least I saw, it might come down, it's a market, but the price I saw was $69,000.
Wow.
For one of those. And he put out 4,000. So, but what was good is all 4,000 of those people bid it up in the market. Every time they sell it, the artist gets 10% again. So his $500,000 roughly that he made at the initial sale was up to 3.5 million just a short time later because people bid it up. So that's the thing. People are buying and speculating and buying art, right? And series of arts and collectibles. I have a friend that did the heroes of crypto, right? Basically it was a series of a digital trading cards of all the cryptocurrency fighters, the guys that have been holding it down for years, right? The guys that, the heroes, and they made a set of cards, but they made them like superheroes. He said he sold like, 150,000 of those in the first 15 minutes, $150,000 worth, in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And now they're collectibles, right? And certain people want them. And you say, why do they do that? Well, people buy, they trade trading cards, right? Regular physical ones. He said, why would you want a digital one? Well, think about it. This thing, what is it? This value, this card has a lot of value. It's not because of the piece of paper it's printed on. The ink is the same as the one that doesn't have value, right?
Right.
It's a shared illusion that we have about the value of something that is what gets bought. So that same instincts happen in the digital world. And now you can get this asset, and basically everything in the blockchain works between wallets, right? So you have a wallet, I have a wallet. It's basically, I'm the bank, you're the bank. DeFi, it's now kind of changing the monetary system. And if you look at it, we're starting to use those cash apps and stuff all the time, much more, right? Like I'm just sending you stuff from Zelle and whatever. So we're getting used to that thing. We're not going to the bank, right? We're not doing the same bop anymore. Well, once this starts going in the Bitcoin world, now it's like I haven't owned all my property, you own yours, and we just trade back and forth.
Well, my question is, and I'm not trying to take us back, but at the same exact time, am I like one of the last few people that really enjoys holding an actual product here?
Oh, no. But remember that that doesn't mean you don't hold products, because you can even take.
Oh, no, like a physical touching type.
Well, so for mine, because I'm getting ready to launch my collection, right? I've been waiting for this time to happen. I just didn't know what was going to happen because I've been ever since I was a kid, I wanted to do three things in my life. That was when I wanted to do music, business, and then I wanted to do documentary, right? And so through my whole career, I've been saving. I just put shit in boxes, threw it in storage bins, and I've just collected all my tours and all this stuff. And I can't even believe it. I opened up some stuff, and it was mind-boggling. Here, I'll show you a picture real quick. The story goes like this. I went to see Gilmore when he was doing that show in Pompeii. I went to the theater because I knew they were running it. They were going to run it in all the theaters. It was a 1/9 broadcast. Did you see that?
How long ago was this?
Oh, it's a few years ago.
Okay.
Right. A few years ago. And so I came after watching it, I got inspired. I came home and I said, you know what? I got those boxes down in the garage that I haven't opened up in 25, 30 years. It's like they've just been sitting there. Like I don't even remember what's in them. Right. And so I went down, I dragged the boxes up. When I had no idea. So I went and I looked and I said, what did I get? So I went and I looked, and you can kind of see what I had there.
Wow.
You see all that stuff? I have unused tickets from every show, shirts. I mean, just crazy amount of
Scott,
wacky stuff.
I'm trying to see, Scott. Are you wearing shorts there?
I was wearing shorts. It was summertime when I did this. I know I look a little goofy there.
Them legs need a tan, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
Bro, let me tell you what, man. I ain't nobody to talk. Yeah, if I ever wore shorts, man.
Yeah, what
was that song? Blinded by the Light.
Yeah, right.
That would be me.
Yep.
So, that's a lot of.
So anyway, I'm taking that. I'm finally found an avenue now for how I wanted to get it out there and distribute it. I was putting together not just that. I've got stuff from all my tours. This happened to just be this particular stuff that I pulled out.
You got like a vault of stuff there, man.
Oh man, it's crazy. But like I said,
is this mostly like Pink Floyd memorabilia and stuff?
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff. I mean, when I did Moscow Music Peace Festival, one of the pieces, check this out. One of the pieces I'm going to put up for auction, and I'm going to be doing both. I'm doing the NFT, and then I have the actual drawing. So here's what it was. I went and I played in the all-star band. They had it was called the Moscow Music Peace Festival, and it was Bon Jovi, Cinderella, Scorpions, Ozzy Osbourne, Skid Row, and then some Russian bands and all that kind of stuff. And so I was asked to go there, and I went to play in the all-star band at the end, right? And Jason Bonham was one of the other guys that was.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was there. So Jason and so one of the things that was there was Peter Max, and this was big festival, outdoor, 130,000 biggest stadium in Russia, right? And it was a 2-day festival, and so the whole thing is I was there, so I had my cameras. I'm a videographer guy, and so I was helping. My buddy Wayne Eish and Kurt Marvis were the directors, and they were the director and producer of the actual show because it was broadcast all the countries. Big, it was a big peace festival bringing United States and Russia together, and it was a whole thing, right?
Sure.
And so they asked me to come along. I actually was going to play the band, but they said, you're a camera guy. Maybe you can shoot some video and stuff. So I was able to go shoot some video for them. And in the meantime, I shot a bunch of video too. So for myself at the same time. And I put all this stuff away. Well, one of the things I had to do was Peter Max, he designed the stage, right? He designed the stage, the look of the stage. Well, one of the things I was supposed to do was go around and video him. So I took him around and he went out. And so he did a thing where he was showing how he painted the stage, and he drew the stage on the paper and all that stuff. Right. And I filmed him. He's one of the greatest, pop icon artists of all time. Right. And so I filmed Peter as he was drawing this thing. And then he gave me the drawing, right? He signed the drawing. Wow. He gave it to me. Right. So one of the this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up as an NFT, and, I'm cutting the little video, because with an NFT, you can put media, make it media. It's like a piece of art. Right?
Sure.
It can be video, it can be pictures, it can be stills, it can be, things. It's different. And so I'm burying him. So right now we're cutting a beautiful little piece of this Moscow thing around that, him painting the thing. And so that's going to be the NFT. And then I'll make extra copies, which will be of the same one. I may do 20 of them. That may be it. Or I may just do that all alone. I may make that just the only one ever and not just leave it at that. I think I might probably do that. But then the idea is
totally unique.
I'm going to give them, here's the art. I have the art right here. Dude, I've never showed this to anybody yet.
Wow, come on.
This is the first time because I just dug it up.
So
while I was doing the show, it was
popping the cherry right here.
You're popping right there. It was this little simple.
What?
Yeah, so it's just a little bit. So that's the stage design.
You are seeing that for the first time right here.
Right there. And that was Peter Max.
Sitting in with Thomas Claxton.
And I got this really cool whole video thing of him going through it and making it for me. And then he gave me the thing. And
he signed it and everything.
Auction this off. This is going to go with it. So I'm going to attach this with the digital piece as one piece. And then I'm going to put that up on.
Dude, that is freaking awesome, man.
That's a cool story because I can tell the story, which is interesting about the whole Moscow Music Peace Festival. It was an amazing thing. I mean, it was crazy. And then you see all these characters and crazy stuff. And so it's that's going to be one of my pieces that I'm.
And I'm about to say, dude, that's like one of tons of things you have probably.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of stuff, dude.
Oh wow.
I kind of hoarded. And that kind of stuff. I'm glad I did now, but it's a massive undertaking because I mean, there's so much stuff I want to do. But
and you're going to do this. What do you think in the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks?
Yeah, the next 4 weeks, I'm going to have the first. I've got several other pieces that I'm putting together, so I'm putting a collection. Probably 5 in this one. I may have 5 in this collection, but I want to get to a point where I'm releasing a collection of stuff, monthly or at least quarterly, if not more. Because I've got photos too. A lot of it's, I'm going to put my photo collection up also because it was a kind of a, I love photography. So I was studying photography and I shot black and white stills. And what I'm doing there is, check this out, so I have the picture. Nobody's ever seen the picture. So it's a one of a kind. It's a negative. So it's not like it's never a digital thing. So I'm going to put it up and I'm going to cut the negative out and I'm going to mount it with a print of the picture. So when they buy that thing, they're going to get the photograph and the negative. Right?
That's crazy.
That'll be a one of a kind. And I've got thousands of photos like that I can do.
And this is going to be all digital.
People. Yeah. Then that will be digital, except for the one piece. That one I'll do my photos. I'll do more like a gallery. So I'll have a one of 20, 2 of 20, 3 of 20, 4 of 20, that kind of a thing. And then, but the number one of one, that one will be sold at a different price for that. You get to have you get to own it.
Dude,
Yeah.
This stuff is probably blowing some people's minds. I mean, like I said, so many people are not even aware.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to dig for this information a little bit, but I think it's coming full force like you do. I mean,
it's coming. No, dude, I can tell you that I went through what it was like back in the 90s. That's when I had that ride with Seventh Level and we took the company public, and that's when multimedia was coming on. Hollywood multimedia, it was getting attention. It was the switch from DOS to graphical user interfaces, right? And Windows came along and the Mac and all that, Atari machines back in the day. So that ride was fantastic. And then the CD-ROM were merged into the internet. So we had this place where CD-ROM died. So we saw that market just go away but then it moved to the internet, and then the internet had its fly. And that was the other time. So that 90s, the early 90s, then the 2000, that period of time just before when everything was anything on the internet, all the stores, all that shit was going on, dogs.com was getting, freaking giant valuation. They were doing all these things. Everybody was coming out with their stuff, right? Well, that was an exciting time because it basically online e-commerce was basically spurred on it. So that was an exciting time. Then we went and we bounced, crashed again. We went through a different period of time. But now I can tell you, dude, this feels like that on steroids right now. Wow. I mean, I'm pumped because the market and what it means to just when you get that aha moment, you go, oh, tokens, healthcare, auto, freaking real estate. I mean, everything gets disrupted. And we're now seeing this shift. And we're also seeing, if you look at the banking systems and if you look at the overall financial health of the globe, central banks it's pretty rough out there, man. Right now, there's a lot of countries, they're in trouble. And right now, when you see Bitcoin coming along, and I call it the world savings bank, because what it is, it's just sucking fiat currency and like a freaking city. It's just growing. It's like a sponge, because what's happening is
a black hole.
It's just a sponge, though, because it's just sucking up the dollars, the U.S. regular dollars, because it's so easy. I can just hook my bank account up through my credit card to freaking Coinbase. And the next thing you know, I'm moving my money from there over to here, right? And it's in this world, and now it's all direct to, don't need a bank. So that gets kind of crazy. And then, my money goes here, and it's making money. It's going up, where my money over here is going down. Oh, they're going to print $2 trillion more. Oh no, less value. So the dollar, and what you're seeing is, Bitcoin and stuff, crypto went through kind of three waves, right? The first wave was it got going and it was held up, it was on fire and everything. And then it crashed. That was held up by the developers, the people that were in there and fighting for it. And then it crashed, but they kept fighting, got ahead of their tech and went up. And the next one was the big one when it got to 17, 18,000 or 20,000, whatever it was there at that time. And it was frenzy, and people thought it was the next big thing, but the tech wasn't there yet. Right. But the market, and that was held up mostly by the retail market, the people. And then they are the ones that got smacked. But this time, institutions are coming in. Elon Musk, 1.5 billion in. I've heard things about Apple, 5 billion getting ready to go.
Wow,
all these companies, because here's why. Think if you're a big company. If you're a big company right now and you got $200 million sitting on your balance sheet, and it's sitting in a bank getting how much interest? What is that money doing? It's just sitting there. It's not going to grow. Oh no, what am I going to do? I better put my money. Where am I going to go put my money right now so that I'm not going to get clobbered, because everything's going this way and it just doesn't make any sense. So they're like, okay, where do I go? Let's just move it over here into crypto, because when they come in, it gets bigger. Now, what happens, what drives that price up is those types of investors, usually they're more about holding. They're not going in to flip it. They're like these board of directors, they're going, okay, 5-year view. Is this going to go? 21 million coins only, 3-4 million are lost. There's supplies only about X amount. Dude, there's not a lot of that out there. You can see why people say it could be worth $1 million.
This is why I love having you on the show, man. You like carry it, bro. I mean, like some people, you have to pull information out of them. But man, you are so full of info.
Oh, I love it though. It's fun. I'm curious about all this stuff.
Dude. I think some, people don't want to admit it, but humanity as a whole fears change. We get complacent, with what we're used to and what we like. And then when something new comes along, people are just like, oh no, this is bad, but it's not necessarily always bad. Personally, I'm a firm believer in what you're saying about the central banks and the cryptocurrency and things like that. I mean, the central bank system is on the way out.
Dude, it's basically, it's if you think about it, we borrow money from that. Who's the collateral? You and me.
Us. Big.
So we're the ones getting stuck on pay. Yeah, let's just borrow $2 trillion. Okay,
dude. I mean,
stuck with that bill,
and not to go too deep into politics here, but that's why I always tended to go for the people who were talking about, the problems with the things like the Federal Reserve and things like that. And I was like, oh man, that dude's speaking my language, because there's so many issues with that type of a system that people don't want to acknowledge because they've lived through it and they're just used to it, and nobody wants to tackle this machine. But it has to be done eventually.
It has to be done. And we're going there because we're connected now, right? It's a whole, everything is about being connected. And it just depends on who's going to control things. And that's where we're at right now, because, obviously the central banks don't want to go out of business. They got to figure out how they're going to fit in this.
Is there a way for them to live together, do you think?
Well, I think there's going to be some transition, because you now just heard, what was it? Visa and MasterCard, I believe, are now going to taking Bitcoin and stuff. So you'll be able to use your card.
That's right.
With crypto. And there's more and more people following on constantly. And a lot of innovation has happened in the last 4 years, 3-4 years, that the problems they needed to solve, now the tech is catching up, because now those applications and all those altcoins, there's like 8,000 plus coins out there. I mean, there's
tons of them.
There's like massive amounts of them, and again, it's really smart. I would, anybody out there, if you have to be paying attention to this. If you don't, there's so much to be made. I mean,
admittedly, I'm still learning about a lot of this.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to learn. And
it's so much, man.
It is. It's a lot. And that's its problem right now. It's a little tough to get to use, and I don't have it all down either. I have people that I know very well. Hell, make sure I'm not doing the wrong thing, because when you store your crypto, you got to know what you're doing. You got to make sure you have a system in place that knows how to protect, because you hear all these stories of people forgetting their keys, and then you're done. It's just like you lost your money. It fell out the plane, and it's over. There's no going back.
Well, you saw those unfortunate stories in the beginning of crypto, where people were investing in it, then they lost it all.
Oh.
And they were going crazy and jumping off of buildings and stuff. And I'm like, whoa, because it was so new that a lot of them really didn't know what was going on.
Oh yeah. I got a friend of mine who's a trombone player that I play with all the time. And he was a geek kind of guy. And he said, dude, I had 70 Bitcoin that I got back a long time ago. Somebody paid me to do some geek work for them, some computer work, and they wanted to pay me in Bitcoin. So they paid me in Bitcoin. And so I got 70 Bitcoin for this job I did. And it was sitting on a hard drive. He says, well, I reformatted the hard drives. He said it wasn't worth anything. It wasn't worth enough to bother with, at the time.
But 70 right then might be worth a lot more down the road.
Well, no, if you had them today, they'd be worth 70 times 55,000, 70 times 50,000. You figure it out. So he got the drive.
Hold on, just for our listeners.
Yeah, he got the drive.
I'm figuring this out right now. He had 70 times 50,000. If it was
50, just say it's now 56,000.
It's now 56,000. So that means that right now, if he would have held on to that, he would have 3,920,000.
Yep, there you go.
Jesus.
And so he's like, he was panicking.
Dude, that has just made me sick to my stomach.
When it got to 6,000, he was like, that's when he was like, oh, yeah. So he was out. He got his hard drive, and he said he had 2 forensic companies that are working on trying to restore the drives, because evidently there's some way to do that. And I don't know all the answers, but that's like painful. And here's another story.
Scott, that literally hurt me to hear that.
Here's a story for you. Here's one for the listeners. Check this out. So I belong to this organization, which is called METAL, Media Entertainment Technology Artists Leaders. It's a men's group of top people in every industry, entertainment technology, and just happens to be that whole group, many of the major Bitcoin players are in that group. The guys that were there telling us to buy it when it was, $70 and, stuff like that have still been there. And they're the biggest crypto people on the planet right now. So I'm around all these guys. So one of the guys in the group called me up and he says, dude, I need you to, I gotta get some advice from you. And I said, well, what is it? He says, I don't want to talk about it on the phone. says, I don't want to talk. I said, what do you mean? He said, you okay? He said, yeah, I'm fine. He said, I just don't want to talk about it on the phone. So I go to his house and he says, dude, you remember when they were telling us to go buy Bitcoin and all that shit? Well, I went and bought $50,000 worth of it, right? So he bought $50,000 and he went and he opened up his wallet and he had $90 million in his wallet. And it was stupid. And he did some other trade. He got some other coins in there, but he had 90 million bucks. And he was like, dude, I'm scared to death. If somebody finds out I have this, I mean, it's like, I don't know. And at the time he couldn't get rid of, it wasn't easy to get rid of it. Right. You can't just go, hey, go cash in $90 million. Right. There's a whole process.
Please tell me he came out on top at the end of the story.
Oh yeah. He's fine. He's
good,
fine.
Good. I know stories where people.
He went out and bought a $6 million house using Bitcoin. I told him, because he couldn't just get liquid, I said, man, the Ferrari dealer in Newport Beach, you can buy Ferraris with Bitcoin. They do Bitcoin there. Go order 10 of them. Right? Go order 10 of them and then just sell them. If you want to get cash out, right? You figure out how to.
Dude, I've heard horror stories about people who wound up seeing something like that and then wound up losing it later. And I was like, oh, no. Oh,
there's one guy that's out there right now that's, he has, there's two stories. One is he had his crypto in a special kind of a vaulted lock, and you have 10 tries of the password.
Oh no.
He's down to 8. He can't remember. He's got 2 more tries. He's got 270 million. That was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
And there's no way he can get his password back.
He can't get it because of the way this was. So he's got 2 more tries.
Even if he proves, would be on a shadow of a doubt that
you can't get to it. He's done. And he doesn't know the private address, the private key. Crypto and all this, you have to have the private key. That's why you want to make sure you go through and you write down your private keys, and there's a protocol for everything you do. And how
he's got $270 million freaking dollars
a while ago. That was probably when it was 30,000. It's now 56. It's probably almost double that now. I mean, he's up there, and he only had 2 more tries. And then there was one other guy that he had a whole bunch of Bitcoin that was worth like 70 million or 80 million. I don't know the exact number, but something like that, he threw the computer. Was an old laptop. So they picked it up and threw it away at the dump yard. And he said that he would split the money with them if they would go through and let him go through and comb through the entire place to see if he could find
no luck
laptop. And I had never heard any more about it. I don't know what happened, but
dude, the guy who has 2 more tries though on his password, that sounds like a frickin' movie. I mean, like this could be like a thriller, some type of a 3-hour type of movie that comes out where this guy's it's ticking down. He's only got 2 more tries left. Can you imagine being there and you've got 1 try and can you imagine the intensity of having to hit that button? This is either.
I mean, how is he sleeping right now?
Oh my God, dude, that would totally trip me out. Oh man, Scott, these are some wild stories, dude.
I know, it's crazy stuff.
That is absolutely.
Anybody trying to get into crypto, man, make sure you get educated, right? You do. And what happens is when people start to use it, they go, "It's easy, it's awesome," right? That's like, oh my God, are you kidding? By the way, you might want to go get your crypto domain name. Yeah. I went and I got mine. So I was able to get Scott Page, and I am Scott Page. And I was able to get,
tell our listeners how they would go about getting their crypto.
Yeah. What is it? I forget. Are they called Unstoppable? No, what is it? Oh crud. I can't remember the name of them. I'd have to go look it up. It'll take time. Anyway, just Google, blockchain, domains, and they're going to come up. There's 2 different ones, a .crypto one and a .lil or something else, or the crypto ones. And they're basically domains. They're on the blockchain. Gotcha. So you can build a website on it. But what's nice is that name now becomes a name to send crypto to. So that name now is your blockchain name because it moves around in the crypto world. So then you can have people just say, oh, send money to Scott Page, right? And gives them the public key, because there's a public key and a private key, right? It's two things. Private key, you never give up to anybody. You don't store that on your computers. Right. You don't do, you do not do it. You live and breathe by keeping that thing as safe as you can, right? Because you lose that, you're done.
You're toast.
You're toast.
As the other two dudes proved.
Yeah. And you don't want to be passing. Anybody ever ask you for the keys or ask you for your passwords? And there's a thing called the seed, which is basically 12 words that create a puzzle. And when you're setting up like storage and these things, you go through a process to set your cold storage up and that seed. You do not want that seed to go anywhere, because that's how you get into your device. And that the seed, if you have a hardware wallet and you lose that device, this seed will get you in. You can replace the device and maintain your crypto.
Oh, good. Yeah. I was about to ask.
But you got to have the seed.
I was about to ask if there was something like that would allow you entry back in if you did happen to.
There are things, but there's so many stories of people losing stuff. And, getting hacked is the problem, but not the code doesn't get hacked. What gets hacked is your email that you put your private key in, right? Or the thing that you texted to somebody because somebody hit you on the phone and said, oh, yes, we need to get into your Coinbase account. This is Coinbase. We need to get in your account. Oh, what is your password?
Man, dude, you know what? They do that with so much stuff.
Oh, yeah.
People are so, and look, and let me stress this before someone, gets triggered here on the show. Listeners at home, there is a big difference in my personal opinion. When I say ignorant, I don't necessarily mean that as an insult. Ignorance is just the lack of knowledge of something.
Yeah.
Stupidity is a whole nother ball of wax. Yeah. But people are so ignorant as to what is happening these days, and they are handing over their information.
Oh, dude.
It's
all out there. I mean, everything's out there. I mean, already, if you think about all the information you put on Facebook and all these things, I mean,
especially older generations, because, these older generations don't know just how in depth. There's a 15-year-old kid sitting in his mom's basement right now that could hack into a lot of major stuff in the world. I'm convinced of that. These older folks, they'll just get a phone call one day. Hi, this is the Internal Revenue Service, and we need some information from you.
Let me tell you, I know this stuff, and I'm savvy. Well, I got a call like at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was coming up, and it was Kaiser. It was for my medical thing, and I was waiting for something, and they caught me off guard. I was still sleeping, and they asked me for my Social Security number, right? And I went, what? And I gave it to him.
Oh,
because I was sleeping. I was caught off balance. I knew I was going to be getting called by them because I was in the middle of something, but I just gave it to them out of the blue, and it was stupid, right? So my point is I'm pretty savvy about that, but I got caught. That's the problem. We get caught clicking that one link.
Happens.
That link that you just shouldn't have clicked because is that for me or is that something
Sometimes
else?
It's an innocent mistake like that when they catch you off guard, and then a lot of the times it's just a pure lack of knowledge.
You've got to be pretty savvy.
Man, I tell you, Scott, I know we don't have much time left because I know maybe another 15 minutes or so, if that. But 10 minutes.
10. I guess I got another call.
10 minutes, gotcha. So I mean, dude, I know we haven't spoken on the podcast in a year. We've spoken privately, but how has this entire thing, aside from the awesome, badass technology that's coming, I mean, as far as music and performance, how has this affected you, and what have you been doing?
I started out really good at the beginning, where I was like, really practicing every day like crazy, and dude, I was really working on.
We were hanging at NAMM, man. We were on stages at NAMM.
I was just like trying to get my chops and everything together. So I was really I was in that, what I call music fever mode, where I was just in practice mode. I was going every day. I was in there. I was making reads. I was really in that. And then that started to kind of slow down because I started getting into some other things. Right. and like working on my house, and I rebuilt my decks, and I did my front porch. I got out there, did some woodwork because it was like nice to kind of get out into nature. So I was lucky that I had those kind of projects to do. So I kind of worked on that. So my music though started slipping. I ended up setting up a studio so I could do stuff. So I worked on that, but mostly, then I just really started thinking about new business models. Like, I just figured out, I woke up that morning and I just realized, all of our gigs were gone and zero revenue now. And,
so you were like me in the sense of, like one day you just like, it just hit you,
what am I going to do? So that's when I went into my business mode. And because I know instantly is when these types of things happen, they cause so much disruption that there opens up all these avenues. And so I started trying to think through like, well, where's the entertainment space going to go? I mean, you can't sell records, you can't sell music, you couldn't sell, where are you going to sell it right today? Although now with NFTs,
let me ask you this.
Now with NFTs, you have a place to sell your
records. I was just about to say, man.
Yeah, so that's why I'm so excited, because up until just recently, where it all really just clicked, the puzzle clicked, right? Because once you have the aha moment, you just kind of go. Oh.
Question. Now the NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
So just for people who might have been wondering and wanting a little
non-fungible tokens,
right? The NFTs
on the blockchain. Yeah, they're like think of it like Bitcoin, but remember, there's fungible assets. If I give you $1,
right,
you give me $1, we can swap them, and there's no difference. It's still $1.
Now, since it's digital,
yeah,
these don't necessarily have to be visual. Could they be audio?
Oh yeah, well, Kings of Leon just put their album out. They did 20,000 only. Sold it all out, whatever the whole package was that they put, and they bundled tickets with it, and a lifetime audience. Freaking, they get to come to the shows, lifetime in,
Sure.
For the certain people, the 20,000 that bought the record and the whole package at whatever that number was. And now that package and everything is tradable. And so if other people want to buy it, it now kind of goes up, and they're going to get royalties off of all that. So they just did that. There's another guy that just launched a full music video. Right. So you're going to see people going to say, I'm going to make, there's already been a couple cases of make one album and sell it to one person. Right.
Sure.
Well, now you get to buy the album, and this authenticates it, and nobody can change the authentication. When you have that, when that's in your wallet, that's yours.
Yeah.
Nobody else has it, and it can't be changed. And the only way you can add to the blockchain, I could take it to somebody else. Somebody could steal it, but if they can get in and get it, but it's still it's you, right? Unless you sold it. Now it's like you can't do anything. You can't. So people can make, take videos of it or put it up on the web and play it everywhere else. So I believe what happens is this makes streaming the secondary business. That's a marketing tool.
Right.
Right. It's like all about, I want that audience because I'm going to be telling them, hey, come over here and support me and buy my damn token. Right. Buy your album, own it. And by the way, it's an asset that you can sell. Oh, I can sell that asset. Just like I used to be able to do with a vinyl record. I could go, when I had vinyl records, people go and they still sell vinyl records. Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And so it's that model, but now I have the authenticity. I own it. So in my wallet, these are the records that I own. I own my record collection, and there's only X amount. It's like creating baseball cards and shit. Right. So it's really going to be the artist that's going to be thinking about, how do I put pictures and sound and stuff and bundles, and how do I carve it up? Because what's beautiful about it is, let's say your four bandmates, they make the record together. Right. And everybody, you guys figure out right there, goes in the smart contract, it's 5 guys, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, right? Chink goes in the smart contract. That asset and that smart contract is there. It's all bundled into that asset. When that asset gets bought, everything goes with it. And when they buy it, the money transaction is just, you wake up and you look in your wallet and, the money's there instantaneously. So when it's bought, you deposit it.
Wow.
Think about how revolutionary that is, right? So when you grasp it and you start to really understand what this thing means, then you start to say, holy crap, man, there's so many things. What kind of value can I put on something? Everything will be tokenized. Your car will be tokenized. You'll be able to borrow against your car with people based on tokens, right? You know, you could fractional sell ownership in anything, right? A painting or a record, you could have, I'm going to sell one, and then that guy can say, I'm going to sell fractions to own a piece of that album. You want to own a piece of it? No problem. My smart contract, everybody can own it, and it's going to cost you this much to buy a piece, and he's going to make it, you know, all these people buy it. So he's going to make money back on his investment right off of that. And then on top of that, that investment starts to grow, and the people that bought in, their investment can grow too. I mean, it can go down, but it can go other ways. It's a market, right?
Wow.
So because of that, you can start seeing how, if you're thinking, how do I bundle then? So for me, it's like, I'm going, how do I bundle live, two-way stuff, NFTs built in, because I'm building that all into Livin', our show, because, you know, we're getting ready to launch Livin.live, our it's a live event tied to streaming, but it's two-way. It's taking advantage of the real-time two-way fan and stream stuff, and then it ties to a box that gets sent to your house prior to the show, and that has all kinds of interactive things that we can do together in two spaces. Because I can't hand you something through the screen. Right. Sure. But I can have something delivered to you prior to the event. We can taste wine together. There's all kinds of things we can do. And so this
is great stuff, man. I mean, I got to, you know, so my advice to anybody watching right now is start now. Don't waste time. Start now.
No, this is hate it right now.
Get educated on this stuff. Get educated immediately.
Listen, everything. You need to just commit to go putting 30 hours in. Just like go just man, YouTube, freaking type, hashtag NFTs in freaking thing. Go to Clubhouse. If you're on Clubhouse, there's forums going on. It's all out there, all the information. Look which ones are happening. What did they do? How did they package it? Because everything's about story. You have to put a story. It has to have a story to create the value for it, right?
That's right.
It has to have something. So you build your story. Even if you're a new artist, your story is what it's going to be, and people will take the journey with you. Like now there's pieces, and you can sell it in pieces and deliver it. So it's like a whole new way of taking people in your sphere, right? Because remember, it's all about your hive. It's all about the super fan, those people that really care about you. That's where the dollars are. You don't need, before it was 1,000 true fans. And now you're like, with this model, holy crap, man.
The sky's the limit. The
sky's the limit. Yeah. Because now I can create something that has value. It was an honorable hang as usual.
Hey, we're going to meet up pretty soon. Again, I want to get you, Perkins, Larry Mitchell.
Yep, all of us for your record. We played on your record. That was fun.
Fabrizio, and we'll get Roberta on there too. And that's going to launch the what I'm going to call the coalition sessions, and we're going to get this thing out there. I think the launch date is April the 29th, so we need to do like a little Zoom thing before that.
You need to launch it as an NFT.
Could I do that though?
Of course you could. You have to go get yourself figured out. You can do it. You can go do it.
Even though it's a Pink Floyd song.
Oh, that's an issue. Oh,
see, that's an issue there.
Well, here's the thing. This is where it starts getting interesting, because you're selling the asset. You don't have the rights to go. The person that buys it, it's like buying a record. So there might be some royalty that has to go along with it, a mechanical royalty, because it's like selling a.
But once you pay the royalty, there you go.
Yeah, so that'd be what you'd have to figure out, right?
Yeah.
And you would think every artist in the world be happier camper, because they know they're going to get paid. No more bootlegs.
Oh man, you would think so.
Think about it, because remember, in the contract, it's going to say pay Pink Floyd this percentage, and you go out, sell as many as you can. Yeah. Get as many people to take it and resell it all they want, because every time it's sold, ka-ching for them.
Well, for those of you waiting, though, we're going to be releasing that April the 29th. We'll see what comes of that. I'm definitely going to look into it. We're going to release.
Of course you are.
Of Us and Them by Pink Floyd. Scott, amazing saxophone skills are on that. So we will definitely be getting that out to the public pretty soon. But Scott, brother, again, I won't hold you up any longer.
Honorable hang, brother. It's always fun to talk to you. I appreciate being on your show, man. It's always fun.
You're always one of the best, man. You're so packed full of information, but we will definitely talk again very soon, my brother.
Exciting times.
Talk to you
Let's
soon,
rock.
bud.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Absolutely.
All right. See you later, bro.
See you, bro.
Thanks.